All right, folks, get ready for a wild ride because today we're diving into the world of NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
The company that makes those graphics cards
Yeah.
that seem to cost more than a small island these days.
Yeah, they're pricey.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
They went from a $1 trillion market cap to a 3H trillion.
It's crazy.
In just over a year.
I know.
It's like
wild.
It's enough to make you want to mine Bitcoin with a potato.
Right. Exactly.
How is that even possible?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Most people know NVIDIA for making games look,
Yeah.
prettier than they have any right to be.
Right, like hyper-realistic.
Exactly.
But their real secret weapon is way more powerful,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Like way more powerful.
They've figured out how to use graphics processing units, GPUs, for basically everything.
I mean, we're talking artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
complex calculations,
Mm-hmm.
self-driving cars, the stuff that makes your phone understand your terrible jokes.
That's right.
The key to all of this GPU magic is something called CUDA.
CUDA, yes.
So,
Think of it as like the ultimate translator,
okay.
bridging the gap between, the brawn of the GPUs and then the brains of AI.
So it's like the Rosetta Stone
Exactly.
of GPU computing.
Exactly.
So today,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to break down how CUDA actually works,
Okay.
why it's basically the Beyonce of the tech world,
Uh-huh.
and how it helped NVIDIA become the AI king of the hill.
It's a wild story.
Okay.
Before we get to CUDA, though,
Yeah.
we have to understand why computers even need these graphics cards in the first place.
Okay.
So imagine your computer screen.
Okay.
It's like a giant light bright,
I love light braids.
right,
Yeah.
with millions of tiny pegs
Yeah.
lighting up to create an image.
Right.
Each peg is a pixel,
Yeah.
and every single one needs instructions on what color to be.
So it's like a micromanager's dream. It's a lot of instructions.
It is a lot.
So who is giving out all these instructions?
So the CPU,
Right.
your computer's main brain,
Okay.
is great at giving general instructions.
Okay.
But when it comes to controlling millions of pixels,
Yeah.
it's like asking a single air traffic controller to manage every flight in the world.
Oh my gosh.
It's just too much.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
So that's where the GPU kind of struts in,
exactly.
takes over.
The GPU is like a massive parallel processing factory
Whoa.
with tons of tiny workers called processing units,
Okay.
all doing specific tasks simultaneously.
So it's like a well-oiled machine,
A very well-oiled machine.
but for pixels.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that's how we get those beautiful graphics.
That's how we get them.
But wait,
Yeah.
there's got to be a catch, right?
There's always a catch.
It's like trying to explain the internet to your grandma.
Yeah,
There's got to be a language barrier or something.
you're exactly right.
Okay.
The CPU and the GPU,
Yeah.
they don't exactly speak the same language. So that's where shaders come in. They act as translators, converting software instructions into something the GPU can understand. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool.
So it's like the CPU is shouting instructions in English.
Right.
The shaders are frantically translating into GPUs.
Yes.
And the GPU is just chugging along, making everything look pretty.
That's a great way to put it.
Organized chaos at its finest.
Exactly.
So shaders are essential.
Absolutely.
Now imagine
Yeah.
you want to use this superpowered GPU for something besides making pixels dance, like training an AI to
Right.
predict the next viral TikTok trend or
Exactly.
something.
Right, right.
But before CEA,
Yeah.
you'd have to learn those complicated shader languages
You would.
just to get the GPU to do your bidding.
It was a nightmare.
Sounds about as fun as assembling furniture with instructions in hieroglyphics.
I can imagine.
But then CEDA swoops in and says, hold my graphics card, I got this.
That's exactly it.
Okay, so tell me, what does CEA do?
CUDA lets programmers use familiar languages like C++
Okay.
to directly control the GPU.
So it cuts out the middleman, the shaders.
Exactly. It streamlines the whole process.
So CDA is basically the Rosetta Stone of GPU computing.
It is
It's a game changer.
a total game changer.
It really is.
And it's a game changer for AI in particular.
Okay, why is that?
Because AI, especially the machine learning and deep learning kind of,
Yeah.
it loves math.
Okay.
It lives for it.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking vectors, matrices, tensors, basically just fancy ways of organizing numbers
Okay.
to make AI algorithms drool.
They love crunching those numbers.
They do. They love it.
But how does all this number crunching
Right.
relate to,
Yeah.
actually doing something useful with AI?
Good question.
Yeah.
So let's say you're teaching a computer to recognize a cat in a picture.
Okay, yeah.
You have to feed it a mountain of cat photos.
Like a lot of cat photos.
A lot of cat photos.
Oh.
And hopefully some non-cat photos, too, just to keep things interesting.
So the AI doesn't think everything is a cat.
Exactly.
Right.
The AI then uses all those numbers, organized in their fancy vectors and matrices, to find patterns and features that say, hey, that's definitely a furry feline.
Okay, so it's like showing a toddler flashcards of cats until they finally realize, wait, that fluffy thing isn't a small, weird dog.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
All right, so the AI needs to see a lot of examples
It does.
to figure out what a cat is.
Exactly.
And GPUs are really good at this.
They're amazing at it.
Okay.
With their parallel processing prowess, they're absolute beasts at these kinds of calculations.
So they're like the Usain Bolt of the AI world.
Perfect analogy.
They just crunch through that data.
They do. They chew through it faster than, you can say, deep learning.
And with CUA acting as the coach.
Yes.
It's like having a mastermind coordinating the entire training process, right?
Exactly. That's a great way to think about it.
Assigning tasks to the right processing units and making sure that data is flowing smoothly.
It's all about efficiency
Yeah.
and optimization.
It's like an orchestra of calculations.
No, I like that.
With CDA as the conductor.
Yes.
Making sure everything is in sync and hitting all the right notes.
Beautiful. I love it.
But does NVIDIA just stop there?
Oh, no, they don't.
Like, here's CUDA, have fun figuring it out yourselves.
Not at all.
They actually make it easier.
They do. They actually do.
Okay, tell me about that.
So they went above and beyond with something called CUDA.
CUDA.
CUDA, yes.
What is that?
It's a library
Okay.
of prepackaged functions specifically for deep learning tasks.
So it's like giving developers a set of Lego blocks specifically designed for building AI models.
Exactly.
No more starting from scratch with individual bricks.
That's a great way to put it.
It's like having a recipe book that says, want to make a groundbreaking AI? Just follow these simple steps.
Exactly. It makes it so much easier.
I'm starting to think CUD is less of a Rosetta Stone and more like a magical genie granting AI wishes.
It's pretty magical.
Yeah.
It really is.
But was it an instant success?
You know, it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine at first.
Really?
In fact, CUDA was met with a healthy dose of skepticism in its early days.
So people were like, GPUs for something other than making my video game characters look like they just stepped out of a salon. You're kidding, right?
Pretty much. It was a bold move.
Yeah.
For sure.
But NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, he's a visionary.
He is?
He had this unshakable belief that GPUs, combined with the right software, could revolutionize the entire computing landscape.
He saw the potential.
He was basically the Steve Jobs of GPUs, saying, this changes everything. Well, everyone else was like, but my spreadsheets.
That's a good analogy.
So he was kind of like a tech evangelist.
Yes.
Spreading the gospel of GPUs while everyone else clung to their CPUs like security blankets.
Yeah, he was a true believer.
And it all hinged on this crazy little thing called CDA.
CUDA was the key.
All right, so we've set the stage.
We have.
We've got our visionary CEO. We've got our revolutionary software. But the world is still skeptical.
The world is not quite convinced.
So how does CEA go from being this underdog to becoming the champion?
That's a great question.
And that's where we'll pick things up in part 2.
Exactly.
We'll dive into how CDA went from, that's kind of neat, to, holy moly, this changes everything. And trust me, the story is wilder than a unicorn riding a roller coaster.
It's a wild one.
All right, so don't touch that dial, folks, because when we come back, things are about to get seriously interesting.
Welcome back to our deep dive into CUA.
It's the software equivalent of a glow-up, right?
It really is.
Taking those powerhouse GPUs from video game darlings to AI superstars.
Absolutely.
So where did this revolution begin?
Well,
Was there a specific moment when CDA went from, that's kind of neat, to, holy moly, this changes everything?
you're absolutely right. There was a turning point.
Okay, tell me about it.
But to appreciate the magnitude of it,
Okay.
we need to rewind a bit and understand the journey NVIDIA took to
Talk about
become
that.
the AI titan they are today.
Okay.
It's a story filled with more twists and turns than a pretzel factory.
Oh, I'm all ears for a good tech drama, so spill the silicon tea.
All right, so picture this.
Okay.
It's the early 2000s.
Okay.
NVIDIA is known for making graphics cards that could render a photorealistic T-Rex chasing a Jeep,
Oh, yeah.
which, let's be honest, was pretty much the peak of entertainment back then.
Hey, Those were simpler times.
Right.
We were easily amused.
We were.
But NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang,
Yeah.
he wasn't satisfied with just pixels and polygons.
No.
He had a vision, right?
He did.
He saw the potential of GPUs to go way beyond gaming,
He saw the bigger picture.
to become the engine of something much bigger. So he was basically the tech world's Nostradamus, predicting the AI future, while everyone else was still trying to figure out how to set up their AOL Instant Messenger profiles.
Pretty much. He was ahead of his time.
So he realized that these chips,
Uh-huh.
with their massive parallel processing power,
Uh-huh.
could be used for all sorts of complex calculations.
Right.
Not just the ones that made Lara Croft's hair flow in the wind.
Exactly.
So he was thinking, why limit these powerful GPUs to just virtual worlds when they could be tackling real-world problems?
That was his thinking, exactly.
That's awesome.
But the problem was,
Yeah.
back then, most scientific computing relied on CPUs,
Okay.
which were considered the workhorses of the computing world.
Right.
So it's like trying to convince everyone to trade in their reliable but slightly boring sedan for a super fast, futuristic sports car.
Oh, yeah.
There was going to be some resistance.
There's always resistance to change.
Always.
People were skeptical.
They
of,
weren't.
like GPUs for serious scientific stuff. Don't be ridiculous.
Ex-
But Huang was determined.
He was not giving up.
He knew GPUs had something special.
He believed in them.
A raw power that could be harnessed for good,
Not just for gaming.
not just for gaming glory.
Exactly.
So he was kind of like a tech evangelist, spreading the gospel of GPUs while everyone else clung to their CPUs like security blankets.
He was a true pioneer.
I love it.
And this is where CUDA enters the picture.
Okay, our hero arrives.
It was the missing link,
Okay,
the key to unlocking the potential of GPUs.
for all these new applications,
For everything.
it allowed programmers to use familiar languages like C++ to write programs that could run directly on the GPU,
Yes, it was a breakthrough.
tapping into its massive parallel processing power.
It opened up a whole new world.
It's like CUDA was saying, hey, I speak GPU, you speak C++, let's do this. It was the ultimate language bridge.
Exactly. Remember,
Yeah.
back then,
Uh-huh.
using GPUs for anything other than graphics was like trying to navigate a foreign country without a map or a translator.
I've been there.
It was tough.
Yeah.
You had to learn these incredibly complex, specialized shader languages
Yeah.
that were designed for graphics processing,
Right.
not for general-purpose computing.
So CUDA was like the universal travel adapter of the computing world.
I love that analogy.
Plug it in and suddenly everything works seamlessly.
That's it.
It democratized access to GPU computing, right?
It did.
Making it possible for researchers, scientists, and engineers from all sorts of fields to harness the power of GPUs for their work.
It was a game changer.
It's like opening a door to a whole new dimension of computing power.
Exactly.
But even with CUDA, it still took a while for the world to catch on to the potential of GPUs, didn't it?
It did. It wasn't an overnight success story.
So what was the catalyst?
Mhm.
What event finally made the world sit up and take notice of CUDA and its power?
It was a competition
Competition.
of all things.
Okay, what kind of competition?
A visual recognition challenge called ImageNet,
ImageNet.
organized by Stanford University.
Okay, so what is ImageNet?
Think of it as the AI equivalent of the Olympics.
The AI Olympics.
But instead of athletes competing for gold medals, it was algorithms battling for image recognition supremacy.
Okay, so we've got this AI Olympics, and everyone's bringing their A game, their best algorithms, their most sophisticated code.
Everyone wants to win.
What happens next?
Well, in 2012,
Yep.
a team of researchers from the University of Toronto,
Uh-huh.
led by a professor named Jeffrey Hinton,
Okay.
showed up with a deep learning model called AlexNet.
AlexNet.
And they weren't just competing, they were about to rewrite the rules of the game.
They were like the Jamaican bobsled team of the AI world, ready to shock everyone with their speed and precision.
That's a great analogy.
So what did they do?
Their model achieved an error rate that was significantly lower than anything that had been seen before.
Whoa, so they blew the competition away.
They blew everyone out of the water.
That's amazing.
It was a breakthrough moment for AI.
So what was their secret weapon?
Their secret weapon was simple, yet revolutionary. They used GPUs. Specifically, they used NVIDIA GPUs and CUDA to train their AlexNet model.
So that's when the light bulb went off for a lot of people.
That's when the world woke up.
They realized, hey, these GPUs are the real deal. They're not just for making video game characters sweat realistically. They're the key to unlocking the future of AI.
Exactly. It was a validation of everything NVIDIA had been working towards.
It was the ultimate mic drop moment for CUDA.
It was.
And from that point on,
Yeah.
the demand for GPUs skyrocketed.
And exploded.
Researchers, scientists, companies all over the world,
Everyone wanted in.
they all jumped on the GPU bandwagon.
NVIDIA was ready.
And NVIDIA, of course, was perfectly positioned to ride this wave of adoption.
They were leading the charge.
It's like they were surfing a tsunami of AI innovation, and CD was their surfboard guiding them to the crest of the wave.
And that wave is still building.
So we've seen how CUDA helped NVIDIA conquer the AI world. But what's next? Where does this wild ride take us from here?
That's the question everyone's asking, and the answer is, we're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
Buckle up.
Okay.
Because in part 3,
Yeah.
we'll dive into the even more mind-blowing possibilities CUDA unlocks.
Even more mind-blowing.
From quantum computing to biomedicine.
Don't go anywhere, folks.
We'll be right back.
We're about to enter a whole new dimension of awesome. All right, welcome back, everyone. We've journeyed through the land of GPUs, crossed the bridge of CUDA, and now we're standing at the edge of a whole new frontier. It's like we've climbed Mount Everest, and now we're about to base jump into a pool of pure technological awesomeness.
That's one way to put it. We've seen how CUDA helped NVIDIA become the king of the AI hill. But what's truly mind-blowing is that its potential applications extend far beyond what we've discussed so far.
So it's not just about teaching computers to recognize cats and predict TikTok trends anymore.
No.
We're talking bigger, bolder, more brain-melting stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Give it to me.
We're talking about tackling problems that would make even a supercomputer sweat. We're talking about entering the realm of quantum computing.
Quantum computing. Isn't that the stuff of sci-fi movies and late-night physics debates?
It was, but it's rapidly becoming reality. Think of it as the next level of computing, a whole new way of thinking about how we process information. It leverages the mind-bending principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations in ways that are impossible for traditional computers.
Okay, my brain just did a backflip.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about faster computers. We're talking about a completely different type of computing altogether.
Exactly. Imagine a computer that can be in multiple states at the same time, like spinning a coin and having it land on heads, tails, and maybe even its side all at once.
So it's like having a computer that can multitask on a level that would make even the most organized person weep with envy.
That's a great way to think about it. This allows quantum computers to tackle incredibly complex problems that would take classical computers millions of years to solve.
So we're talking about cracking the mysteries of the universe, curing diseases, maybe even predicting the ending of Game of Thrones before it gets spoiled online.
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling. But here's the thing. Even with these super-powered quantum computers, we still need traditional computers to manage the data, control the process, and basically keep things from going haywire. And that's where CUDA comes in.
So it's like having a team of super geniuses working on a groundbreaking invention, but you still need a project manager to keep them organized and focused.
That's the perfect analogy. NVIDIA has developed a platform called CUDA Quantum that allows developers to seamlessly integrate quantum computers with traditional GPU-accelerated systems. It's like building a bridge between the classical world of computing and the strange, counterintuitive world of quantum mechanics.
So CDO is like the bilingual interpreter who can speak both computer languages fluently.
Precisely. This allows developers to create hybrid applications that leverage the strengths of both types of computing. We can use the raw power of quantum computers for specific tasks while still relying on the reliability and control of traditional computing for everything else.
So it's like having a team of superheroes with different superpowers working together to save the world. Quantum computer can teleport data at the speed of light, GPU can process it faster than a caffeinated cheetah, and CUDA is the mastermind coordinating the whole operation.
Exactly. This opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for solving problems that were previously considered impossible. Imagine using quantum simulations to develop life-saving drugs, optimize financial markets, or even design materials with properties we can only dream of today.
It's like we've been given a glimpse into the future, and it's full of flying cars, self-cleaning houses, and computers that can actually understand what we mean when we say, "I'm fine."
And let's not forget the other exciting areas where CUDA is already making a huge impact. We've talked about AI and quantum computing, but it's also being used to accelerate research in fields like genomics, climate modeling, and even astrophysics.
So CED is like that one friend who's good at everything, always showing up to help with projects no matter how complicated or weird they get. It's like the ultimate Swiss Army knife of the computing world.
That's a great way to put it. And the best part is that CUD is constantly evolving. NVIDIA is always releasing new versions, adding more features, expanding its capabilities, and making it even easier for developers to unlock its full potential.
It's like CUD is on this never-ending quest to become the ultimate computing companion, constantly learning new skills and upgrading its abilities.
And one of the areas that NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang is particularly excited about is biomedicine. He believes that AI powered by GPUs and CUD will play a transformative role in healthcare.
So we're talking about using CUD to fight diseases, develop new cures, maybe even create robot doctors who can perform surgery while making witty banter. I'm here for it.
Well, maybe not the robot banter just yet, but the potential is certainly there.
Okay.
Imagine using AI to analyze medical images, predict patient outcomes, and even personalize treatments based on individual genetic profiles.
It's like having a personalized health coach who knows everything about your body and can recommend the perfect diet exercise plan and maybe even tell you which Netflix shows to binge watch based on your mood.
It's an incredibly exciting vision, and it's one that's already starting to become a reality. Researchers are using CUDA-powered AI to analyze vast amounts of medical data, develop new diagnostic tools, and even design personalized therapies.
It's like we're witnessing the birth of a new era of medicine, one that's powered by AI, accelerated by technologies like CUDA, and hopefully involves fewer needles.
And it all goes back to that vision that Jensen Huang had to make GPUs accessible and powerful for everyone. It's incredible to see how that vision has blossomed into this vast ecosystem of innovation touching every aspect of our lives.
It's like he planted a seed, and now we have this sprawling forest of technological advancements, all thanks to those little chips that were once just meant to make video games look pretty.
And the journey is far from over. With CUA as its guiding star, NVIDIA is leading the charge into a future where computing will be more powerful, more accessible, and more impactful than ever before.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of CUDA, I think one thing is clear. This isn't just a story about a piece of software. It's a story about human ingenuity, about our relentless pursuit of progress, and about our ability to use technology to solve some of the world's most challenging problems.
It's a story that's still being written, and thanks to CUD, it's a story with a bright and exciting future.
And who knows what amazing discoveries and breakthroughs await us just around the corner. So stay curious, keep exploring, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the one writing the next chapter in this incredible saga of technological innovation. Until next time, deep divers.